Hello everyone, it is Healer, and we have a juicy video for you today. If you could tell through some of my catalog, I'm an older player. I made my first account in 2010, but I didn't actually start playing until 2011. And throughout my years, the main debate I heard about Roblox has yet to change. It is this discussion between new and old Roblox. But as you'll see throughout this video, this debate sucks, and it isn't really productive. I played in a time where my era of 2011 to 2013 was considered new Roblox. People from 2006 to about 2008 did not like the direction Roblox was going and missed the classic vibes of the previous era. When we explore the old-new discussion, you'll see that this pattern is pretty frequent and is conceptually pretty nebulous. At least right now. I am what I like to call a modern Roblox apologist when it comes to this discussion. The reason why I'm pro-new school Roblox is because I've noticed the points stay the same while the people change. Also, I just like how the game is nowadays. The old versus new Roblox debate used to be pretty black and white. It was the 06-08 players who grew up to hate the direction Roblox was going and lashing out on the 2011 to 13 era of Roblox, with a weird transitory period of 2009 to 10 players being stuck in the middle. The main arbiters were snobby, jaded old heads from 06 to 08, but now the main guys and gals spouting this old Roblox rhetoric are from a decade later, 2016 to 2018. In this video, and the Paradigm Shift series as a whole, I hope to persuade any impressionable minds not to think in black and white and have a more nuanced discussion on Roblox's eras and evolution. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, refuting claims in favor of old Roblox, there's a couple of elephants in the room I want to address. The first being you guys. I was anticipating last week's video to pop off, maybe 400, 500 views, but nearly 2K views as of writing. That's insane. Thank you for your support. But before it even usurped my face stereotypes video in views, the first Paradigm Shift video was already the most commented one for sure. I really appreciate you guys giving your 2 cents and promoting discussion on this topic, as it is one I really am passionate about. However, I disagree with a lot of you. And to be honest, the point I was trying to make for the video kind of fucking fell on deaf ears. Here we have Andre Desi, right? Ignoring all that I had to say and just proclaiming, old Roblox better. I cannot tell if this is a move from an absolute dummy or an absolute Chad. Wait a second. His newest account is from 2021. And he claims he's from 2017. Fucking new gen. There's so many people who are just stuck in their ways. They're like sheep to the Matrix or whatever. I was just joking. In fact, when I dig at these old Roblox advocates, they're just advocating for the middest Roblox era of all time, 2016. Why is this the old Roblox now? Tune in next week where I talk about just that. However, for now, all I could really say is respectfully, you guys are wrong. When I challenge these old Roblox people's worldviews, they get so passionate. A bit too passionate. To the point of hostility. Last week's video was our most controversial video yet. So much so we've acquired our first hate comment. They call me cringe and not worthy of respect. Ouch! I send out a verbose "no you," and they get super duper angry. I decided to de-escalate the situation by talking about the greatest show of all time. That seemed to have worked. Judging from this person's profile and voice,
pretty much time I haven't published in a few days. Hey,
I can deduce they probably picked up Roblox around the same time as the other pro-old Robloxers, in my comment section, which was around, again, the 2016 era. And this hostility isn't just from that era of people. There was this one time I found myself in a discussion with someone claiming to be from 2008. It was on some public Roblox Discord. I was challenging them on their pro-old Roblox rhetoric, and they got heated. They developed this weird, passive-aggressive, and smug attitude during the conversation. This person just kept projecting, saying I was the one getting worked up, and they were quickly resorting to ad hominems and insults by the end of our little talk. Our conversation ended not without compromise or any real closure. It ended because some bureaucratic oaf with a stick up his ass had enough of our squabble. Yeah, instead of this mod actually having the situational awareness to correctly discipline the provocateur, they get mad at me for having a problem with a rule breaker being harbored, and they decide to threaten an all-around punishment, despite me being as respectful as I could possibly be in that situation. What a load of... Hey man, that sucks and all, but this is kind of derailing from the original topic at hand. Plus, by doing this, aren't you confirming to that anonymous old head that you are worked up?
Yes.
To end this segment, I'll say this. This topic of old versus new gets unnecessarily confrontational for no good reason. Having a discussion on this debate shouldn't constitute a mute from a shitty Discord mod. Saying the old versus new Roblox debate in its entirety sucks doesn't mean you don't deserve any respect, Kyle. Let's all chill, be civilized, and create our own personal closure on a rent-free, petty Discord run-in from 5 years ago. Okay? Okay. I got debated in my previous video. I thought the video I reacted to was an original concept, so I was kind of going easy on it, but these shorts are just slop. It's fast food content where you just slap some random footage together and some random Wojak 10 times over, and it's easy views and easy engagement. I hate to be so pessimistic, but all these old Roblox better reels, shorts, TikToks are all just there to farm engagement. That's why there was no real litmus test on the games for oldies to reminisce in the short I reacted to. They chose the most widespread appealing games that are still relative... They're still relevant today. Those rapscallions! Flagrant cynicism aside, I have a couple videos to recommend to you before we really dissect the reasons why people think old Roblox is better. These videos have a bit of a different conclusion than what I'm trying to preach. However, the points we make are pretty similar. Green Apple Snap's video deduces that the old versus new Roblox debate is unproductive, and he promotes using your voice to make videos to hopefully influence Roblox for the better. He also states the reason you may feel sour towards modern Roblox is because of your formative years being in blissful unawareness. Gone Fishing actively shits on old Roblox, boldly challenges the people who believe old Roblox was better, and comes to the conclusion that Roblox was always mid as fuck. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I already mentioned it, but I'll say it again. Firefox's old versus new Roblox discussion video provides a perspective from a bygone era, a discussion that was more cut and dry. I'll be referencing this video and Fire's work a bit more because I'm a true Firefox glazer.
Hey you. Do you like taking advantage of kids?
Yes.
Community isn't getting better, but it's not really gotten worse from 2008, for my example. It's just gotten bigger, so it seems like there's more of those people, but there really are a tremendous amount of people who are great and just generally have amazing personalities and amazing talents, but as real life does, also, it focuses on the bad sides of the world, if you catch my drift. Because talking about fun things isn't fun. Talking about bad things and drama is fun, which is so odd.
Nope, sorry. Old Roblox didn't have online daters.
What? Of course it did.
Nope, it doesn't. You lose.
You got so many
Nope,
examples.
you're wrong. Look it up.
I don't have to look it up. It's common
Nope.
knowledge.
Nope.
Mr. Obvious,
No,
who is a YouTuber.
no,
who got caught in 2016.
no,
Everyone knows that Roblox has the same
Guys, what's the one problem right now that's not going to be around in 2070? The elderly and the disabled. Because we're just gonna kill them. We're just gonna kill them.
Old Roblox was better. Problem with this statement isn't if it's true or not, because that boils down to personal preference. The problem when it comes to this discussion is the worldview and perception of the person given said opinion. Which old Roblox do you speak of? There's like 3 of them to choose at this point. The common sentiment, according to what I've seen and heard on my comments and polls, is that people refer to this as like 2016 and the succeeding years to be about 2018. There's someone who's been around since 2010, asterisk. That shit was like the new Roblox and I still view it as such. This old versus new type of situation is kind of reflective of the generational divide. Boomers look down on Gen Xers, Gen Xers look down on millennials, and so on and so forth. It's just a parallel I notice when it comes to the Roblox discussion. Each gen of players criticize the subsequent era for being shitty. I guess nowadays it's people from the 2016 era who get a turn at calling new Roblox shitty. But do you know what generational discussions have that Roblox doesn't? Streamlined, distinct periods. Old Roblox has now become too unclear of a concept, and everyone's margin of what old Roblox even is has become too moot and indiscernible. This blanket statement is dumb. Stop using it. The games were better. When people say this, they either say the games were better or the game was better. These could mean 2 different things. Either way, I'll just say they mean the selection of games for this portion, because the latter point is being addressed all throughout this video. I think this reason is total bullshit. You mean to tell me Glass Houses and Mike D's Paintball are better than Evade and Doors? If they had those 2 games in 2011, it would have been over for Little Healer. If you want a more temporary take, look at last week's video. It contains games that are all, for the most part, still popular, but were primetime games for 2016 Roblox. Again, this point depends on who's talking and what era they represent. There's like this weird inverse proportionality of blocky simplicity and convoluted script madness. The best stretch of both worlds would have to be in the mid-2010s. But even then, you can just play retro clients. Maximum ADHD, formerly known as Clone Trooper 1019, has a game where it's literally just old Roblox. There's also games that modernize or repair old games out of being buggy messes. They even have retro clients of Roblox Studio, baby. You can still live out your glory days, either through throwback experiences or through games that are still accessible to this day, you 2016 mother... Listen, I get the main criticisms on your video were from people in the 2016 era, so you call it, but they're also a majority of your audience. Don't bite the hand that feeds you, man. You're right, reasonable viewer. I need to be less hostile. I need to be the bigger man. I apologize. Now, where was I? The game selection, ergo the bulk of the content of Roblox, now is vastly superior to the game selection back in the day. Now, I cannot comment on this firsthand, but the older you go back, the more bare bones and limited mechanics-wise you experience within Roblox. The movements within the classic era were very weighty, clunky, and lacked the ergonomics of modern day. I understand that there's lots of movement glitches now, but that's a double-edged sword that can be applied to old Roblox as well. The Roblox platform has been a host to some jaw-dropping, cutting-edge, and very, very fun games, and they run better too. Current day Healer has no problems loading in a resource-intensive showcase, but little Healer's PC exploded while loading like Spyro's the Complex V4. While I do think some concepts and games truly stand the test of time, the fact of the matter is I think the variety, quality, and versatility of modern games completely trumps the games old Roblox has, especially the further back you go in time. Community sucks now. The main critique I've seen is that the community sucks now, whether it be for or against old Roblox. The connection and homey characteristics of a more vintage era of Roblox are cool, but back then they were still some mean bitches. I remember being in cart ride through a haunted mansion, one of the first games I played, and getting repeatedly trolled and griefed by two chicks just preventing me from having fun. That was a formative experience, and during my own time of blissful unawareness. It stung. I remember all these petty old beefs, including the one I mentioned earlier, but I'll save those for a few videos down the road. There's also the forums, a toxic, judgmental cesspool of either facetious and flippant people pretending to be older than they are, pompous or sour elitist old heads who got their kicks from demeaning everyone else, or actual, legitimate racists and creeps. The Jared Pogie incident happened in the 2016 era. Literally the worst crime imaginable just casually occurred in the forums in a now coveted era. Although the games always had exploiters, online daters, creeps, racists, homophobes, and just assholes. Again, look at the videos I mentioned on further viewing for more information about that. Mods were better. While I'll agree the mod-to-user connection of the past was much more transparent and homey in the olden days, I think the actual aspect of moderation was always flawed. Here are just a few examples that I could think of. Warnings apparently didn't used to exist. Flesk H. Jurda's ban. Ruben Sim's first string of deletions took place in 2014 and 2015. Mr. Obvious was caught during the 2016 era. In my own era, 2011 to 2013, sex games used to be in the front page for hours until they got taken down. That feat would be very improbable today. Builder Girl's 656 rumors of her deviancy occurred in 2013, with evidence of her being a creep in 2014, with no moderator action happening until much more recently thanks to Ruben Sim.
Is when he reported her, either this report was never received by Roblox, or a moderator reviewed the chat logs and decided, oh, there's nothing going on here, because Builder Girl was not banned for many years after this video came out, and that's unacceptable. If you report a predator who is asking you to get naked on camera for them, and then they say that you could have just sent them to jail for reporting them, they should probably get their account banned.
Roblox is a danger to children. I know I said some risque stuff in the last chapter, however I must clarify I make Roblox content for the more mature, older viewer who is around my era of Roblox. With that being said, there'll be some kids in here regardless of my deferrals, and I can't really stop that. All I could really say is viewer discretion is strongly advised. This one's a very touchy subject, so I'll try my best to be considerate about it. Skip to the time here if you're not comfortable with this topic. This is actually a very good point. However, it can be, again, chalked up to a consequence of a growing game with a subpar moderation team that was always there. Plus, I highlighted two very notable creeps, Builder Girl and Mr. Obvious, in the previous section, both of whom were caught before the 2020s. This issue feels so much more prevalent now because of the sheer volume, Roblox's incompetence, seriously, like what the fuck, and the fact we're actually getting press, awareness, and attention towards this problem. Now let me be clear, I am in no way promoting, supporting, or intending to harbor any creeps with this rebuttal. I'm just saying that the sexual misconduct on Roblox has been a problem since the early 2010s. But with all that aside, I do think this is one of the most pervasive problems within the Roblox community. The fact there's so much journalism from people like People Make Games and Ruben Sim that address this situation is overall a great thing for the safety of children. I even had a run-in with a creep. In 2015, I was getting inappropriate messages in a party chat, so I decided to consult the forums to seek guidance. Wait, didn't you call the forums disgusting place filled with meanies and weirdos? Why'd you go there of all places? Well, hindsight is 20/20, isn't it? I was only a kid and my judgment was hazy. I looked up to a lot of forumers, so I thought I'd confide in them about this encounter. Was this a troll and I should just ignore it and play it off? Or should I report this to the proper authorities or to give Roblox and get it sorted out? I wanted guidance. That's why I posted on the forums. Roblox then deletes the forum post, gives me the ban, and I have to fight with some poor offshore employee about why I think the ban was unjust. And the kicker, the ban was for hate speech. I was getting sexual advances from a gay guy, and calling him out on it on the forums gets you banned for being a homophobe, apparently. All you could see was a transcript of the party messages from this random account. Maybe it was my forum signature I possessed at the time, which,
What's this, you fucking piece of shit? What's this? Huh? What's this, motherfucker? What's this? Huh? What's this? What the fuck is this, motherfucker? Huh? What's this?
Yeah, I could see why. However, from what I can tell, I had no moderation action against it before or since. This moderation action was specifically for this post. The only justice I was given for this encounter was the moderation team banning the guy messaging me after my request to have him moderated. I know I was being a bit lighthearted with this story, but in all seriousness, I was appalled by Roblox's handling of the situation. Could you imagine trying to seek counsel on Roblox regarding a potential predator, and they decide to ban you because of it? That would definitely not fly today. I'm glad more outlets for this kind of thing exist now, because if I was a youngin' and this happened today, there'd be much more avenues to report my findings to. Ruben Sim's mod for dummies, the slew of journalists critical on Roblox, the freelance vigilantes busting creeps, voicing your concerns on social media, etc., etc. There's just so many avenues now that make up for Roblox's incompetency with moderation. Sorry for making the dumb block game debate so serious, but these are actual concerns and points I've seen thrown across in this discussion before. I personally find it irresponsible and a little misguided. My heart goes out to all the poor souls back in the day who couldn't report their encounters with creeps back then because of the lack of resources present. The vibe of Roblox is not what it once was. Now this is a point I can get behind. The audio-visual aspect of classic Roblox from like 2006 to 2008, all the way to my own era, was special. There was just a lot of cool songs on Roblox's vintage soundtrack. A lot of just vintage hats and items that complement the classic Lego-adjacent palette. Roblox's YouTube scene wasn't an oversaturated mess, but now it's just this. Like, what am I even looking at? What am I even looking at? Sure. There was always people who tried to intimidate the human that the standard Robloxian wasn't, but what the hell is this? The worst thing about this too is that the modern Roblox items perpetuate what's now known as like R63, R34 content. Like, why are you making these block characters so sexual? Not to mention the familiarity of the audio-visual aspect of modern Roblox is non-existent. While modern Roblox may be versatile, old Roblox just had the oomph and consistency that drew many old heads, including myself. The soul was there. Again, this is a point old Robloxians make that I can agree on. The limitations of the games, the familiarity of the audio visuals, the small size of its community, the more direct mod-to-user relationship, the less sensationalist and bombastic environments of Roblox's news and drama. Blissful ignorance, am I right? Something about old Roblox was just blissful, innocent, and simple. There was just something so beautiful about its simplicity. It was your bog standard nostalgia fest, and its enjoyment was more so the enchantment of the time rather than the games itself. However, its presence cannot be denied. This video was me calling out the fetishized dogma fueled on nostalgia-filled conjecture. Old Roblox essentially just boils down to the year the presenter or speakers started playing. As a concept, it is very nebulous in the general discussion, so the framing of this debate needs a rework. A lot of criticisms can boil down to the consequences of watching a game get bigger, and the only real valid criticism I can wholeheartedly get behind is the lack of soul, because formative years on Roblox gives you tight nostalgia goggles. It's hard to really represent an old Roblox when at this point there's like 3 old Robloxes to choose from. Do you select the big dog status of 06 to 08, the modern classic era of 2016 to 18, or the tweener era of 2011 to 2013? For this video, I made a nebulous concoction of various old Robloxes because, well, the old versus new Roblox debate is just that. A demonized modern Roblox versus a nebulous concoction of various old Robloxes. I'm a new Roblox apologist, but I do honestly just unabashedly cherish the era of Roblox in which I grew up in. Hell, that's what Nostalgia Blocks is for. Check it out. But you gotta be realistic here. There were many problems back then, and there's sure as hell many problems now. If you stick around this long, then thank you very much. This video was needlessly long and even more controversial than my last video, so the fact you were able to watch it this far means quite a lot to me. Thank you. And hey, we still aren't done. Yeah, next week we'll be attempting to streamline the old versus new Roblox debate into something less abstract. Be sure to check it out. The video will be called The Roblox Cultural Timeline. With all that being said, I'll bid you a farewell. Bye-bye.